Warning. Just because I use these herbs, just because I can eat these herbs, just because I can touch these herbs, just because I can smell these herbs, just because I can have anal sex with these herbs, does not mean that you do not have allergies or medications that may interfere with said herbs. Do not look, do not smell, do not touch, do not eat, do not even think of ordering, buying, or even of the herb itself, for you may break out into a reaction. They may cause death, miscarriages, and so on and so forth. Any medical opinions or advice that I give in these videos, you cannot hold me responsible for. It is your job to seek out an actual, licensed, educated, and fully trained physician who knows your family history to better educate you on if you can even look at a herb without breaking out into a rash or instantly dying. Thank you.
Hello. I'm officially resigning from YouTube. There's just been so much drama on my videos.
I'm just kidding. We're doing Witch Hazel today. Wait, you thought I was gonna leave YouTube? Please. Please. You people are stuck with me. There's an unsubscribe button. Learn how to hit it. So y'all know the deal with how I do these things. I don't always discuss so on and so forth, or so forth and so on. I just discuss the information that I found and then how I use the damn thing, okay? If that's not your cup of tea, go away. Go away. Anyways, let's smell Witch Hazel. Again, I'm pretty sure Witch Hazel's a bark. It looks like a bark. I'm going to assume it's a bark. Let's not be stupid. It's a bark. So that's what Witch Hazel looks like. I don't know how well you can see that, or if you can see it at all. Not my problem. So, Witch Hazel is a very important herb for me, not because it's named Witch Hazel. Like, let's grow the fuck up. It's an important herb for me because it is a bark, and we all know how I feel about barks. I love anything to do with barks. Barks are very protective, they're very earth-based, they ground you, they center you, they purify, they protect, as I already said, and, you know, they're good in incense, and in some teas. So with Witch Hazel dowsing rods used by a so-called experienced witch, is said to find underground waterways. I don't think you need to be an experienced witch to use a dowsing rod, and I don't think being a witch has anything to do with using a dowsing rod. The extracts of Witch Hazel are said to treat bruises and insect bites. So, if you've ever been at your local drugstore and you've seen the Witch Hazel bottle that, at least in Canada, used to sit next to the rubbing alcohol, which is now behind the counter, I'm not really sure why. You'd have to be super, super stupid to drink rubbing alcohol. Like, really stupid. Like, retarded stupid. Like, beyond I'm an alcoholic and I need to get my hands on anything with alcohol in it stupid. Anyways. The bark and twigs are said to protect against evil. See, I knew I was right. I always use it for protection. If carried, it is said to mend a broken heart. I've never carried this, but now I want to try that because, honey, I am beyond damaged. Small doses by mouth are likely safe, keyword likely. For adults, and when applied to the skin for children. So in other words, children, don't you be drinking this. I don't know about pregnant women, just stay away from it. So what do I use witch hazel for now that we know a little bit of information about witch hazel? Keyword a little. I use witch hazel when I'm trying to break curses, hexes, when I'm trying to protect my space against evil, when I'm purifying the space, I will burn incense that contain witch hazel. When I'm working with the spirits, sometimes I will offer witch hazel because it also empowers magic and magical workings. So, a little bit of this as a tea, like the bark, not the liquid you can buy at your local drugstore. Do not go and buy the liquid of witch hazel at the drugstore and make a tea out of it. You will die. You will literally die. But a little bit of a tea out of this would be fine. I'd mix it with chamomile and white oak bark. Keyword little bit. I always like watching how people make teas with herbs, and a lot of people will be like, yeah, I'm just gonna put a whole fucking hand of this in here, and it's like, okay, great, you're just gonna poison yourself. But yeah, so a little bit of white oak, a little bit of witch hazel, a little bit of chamomile. You could switch up chamomile for hibiscus. I love hibiscus. You could switch up white oak for rue. So, you know, a pinch of rue and maybe 2 pinches of this, and then maybe a tablespoon or so of chamomile. You know, double that dose if you're making it for like 4 people. But yeah, and then that, you know, let steep for 5-10 minutes, and there you go, you have a tea. I've never made a tea out of witch hazel though. I always use it in incense in relation to other barks because, again, protecting, banishing, cleansing. You could probably put this in a sachet and use it in the bath or in the shower, or make a soap out of it. I couldn't see why, because you would be washing away the day's negativity. You'd be washing away all of the impurities, like if you have oily skin or whatnot. I'm not saying it would work for oily skin, but you know. So yeah, that's just a little bit about witch hazel and what I use it for. The biggest thing I use it for is when I'm empowering my spells, or when I'm making bark-based incense. Now, this isn't all the witch hazel I have, but as you know me, I have a bunch of shit in jars. So y'all need to chill out. So yeah, I hope this video kind of educated you, gave you a little bit of information on witch hazel, what I use it for, a little bit of information I found. Again, you know, books, internet, research, talk to a doctor, so on and so forth. And do not feed children. Unless you want to kill somebody. In that case, you do you, and I'll do me.
And I'll see you in 20 years in jail. Use lube if you're gonna butt fuck me.